Hey, it's JP with Central Idaho Mountain Weather. It's September 30th, 2023. It's the weekend. Today we're going to look at mostly cloudy skies, highs in the low 60s in the valley floor. Rain is going to be mostly isolated to Galena Summit and north into the Sawtooth. So Stanley's looking like they're going to get some rain as well. But tomorrow is going to be more of the widespread event with rain and snow being mostly above 9,000 feet, but really accumulations are going to happen more 10, 11,000 feet and higher. Highs are going to drop way down into the low 50s, so that's a 10-degree drop overnight. Got some cool air coming in from the northwest. There'll be some isolated thunder showers in the afternoon. Looking ahead for Monday, Tuesday, we're going to have some lingering showers. Nothing crazy, but the northwest flow is going to keep some precip coming in until the ridge builds in overhead on Wednesday, so we can finish out the week with some warmer and drier air. Here is what Pocatello's 3-day storm total is looking like. We're going to maybe get ½ inch of rain in Haley, and those amounts keep creeping up till almost an inch in Stanley. And the graphics are looking like it's going to be wetter in the Pioneers and even up into the Sawtooth more than the previous day. And the snow totals are kind of the same thing. We're looking at the Pioneers have some pretty nice shading of 8 to 12 inches there. And there's still a little bit of that in the Lost Rivers, but less as you go into the Sawtooth because this is definitely more of a high elevation storm. Those temperatures just aren't getting low enough this time of year to produce lots of snow down in lower elevations. So let's get into some of the other graphics we got going on. We had some rain come through last night and early morning. We picked up a whopping 2/100 of an inch here at China Gardens. Looks like Ohio Gulch picked up about the same, and a little bit more in North Fork, picking up 1/10 of an inch. Looks like it kind of fell all around us, but nothing crazy yet. Looking at NBM model for temperature drop, this is pretty significant from today's highs in the low 60s to tomorrow's highs in the low 50s. Not really much wind going on with this event. Let's look at the satellite imagery. So you can see that trough is kind of looking like this right now, pooling in moisture from the southwest into our area today. It's all these cloud cover, and you can almost start to see it having this counterclockwise circulation of low pressure. It's an upper level low right now, and that's going to become a little bit more defined here tomorrow. Cloud cover, it's going to be pretty cloudy both days. Not much more to add than that. You can see it's going to be just filled with color on how much we're going to get. All right, looking at the 500 millibars, big picture flow, you can see that trough really digging down to the south today, forming that elongated trough, and that's going to start to form a low here where it closes off on itself tomorrow and be a little bit more juice. And that low is looking like it's going to sit right over Nevada, almost southern Idaho, looking at some of the other graphics. This is the href, which is an ensemble of a lot of different things, but looking at the Euro, it's a little bit more well-defined over Idaho. So that's what's going to be bringing us our, that switches a little bit more on Sunday night. So this is what's going to be bringing our weather, this area of low pressure almost overhead. And then looking at the HER forecast, got a little visitor here this morning. Looking at the HER forecast, you see that big band of moisture making its way up north. It's going to hit mostly Galena Summit and the Sawtooth. But then tomorrow, that is going to really become more widespread. You see there's going to be lots of moisture all across Blaine County and over into the Lost Rivers, and really kind of lay down that precipitation. And you can kind of start to see that low spinning right over here.
Can you unblock the door?
Yeah. And let's move on. Best chances of thunder showers are going to be for tomorrow afternoon. You can see there's going to be a 20 to 30% chance of Blaine County going to be in that, all the way stretching up into Stanley. More of a threat to the east of us. And you can see there's just really not that much Cape value going on there, so there's not as much energy to produce those thunderstorms. All right, let's look at some storm totals. So you can see Sunday is going to be the big producer of precip. That's where we're going to see more of that widespread rain across all the areas. They're really looking like, let's look at the snow graphic here. It's looking really more like the Pioneers, that it's shifted now that we have like a bit better models of what's going to happen. It looks like a lot of that moisture is going to be isolated over the Pioneer Mountains. Before they were saying that was going to be a little bit more east into the Lost Rivers. So you can see some juicier totals of 6 to 8 inches, maybe a little bit more over that 3-day total. And this is just kind of clarifying that it's really going to be happening in the 10 to, for us in Idaho, 12,000 foot range, where you're going to see most of that snow. You just don't have cold enough temperatures for that snow level to be lower. All right, let's look at the Euro, just kind of overall flow of what this system's going to do. So it's really ramping up tomorrow with this closed low almost over us. And that's going to shift over to the east, but it's going to slowly do that, not until really Wednesday, when we start to have this area high pressure push into our area for the rest of the week. And looks like it's going to stay with us into the weekend still, for looking at the long-term forecasts, kind of in fantasy land there. All right, that's all I got for you tomorrow or today. We'll see what happens.